Hello Cardfighters, welcome back to Vanguard Central Academy. I'm Chris, and we have another product review for you all. We have the new trial deck for the Maidens. I guess they're not Maidens anymore, but for Ahsha, the nice Bloom support coming out. It's already out, obviously. It's a little late, so I apologize for that. Standard, nice green art, got Tokuha, got the card list. Actually, this is interesting. It tells you about the characteristics of the clan, so you can kind of get some lore ideas. Maybe is this deck for you or not? But chances are, those of you that will get it either already know you're going to get it, or just looked at the front and was like, oh, look at that cute playing girl. I want to play that. Alright, so let's get into Alright, so pretty standard stuff. We got the nice little movie kind of card looking thing. We have our little doodads here. We have the starter guide. Again, like the Royal Paladin deck, it's the Kazuma, and it's got all the rules, tell you how to play, tell you how to get good at the game. Well, maybe not get good at the game, but it'll tell you how to play, get you started if you're just starting off. And then, of course, we have the nice playmat, so you guys can figure out all the zones of the game if you're new to it. G-zone, damage zone, all your rear guards, your field, guardian, deck, drop zone. Which, if you don't know what those are, you can check out the rules, little rules, figure out what those are. And then, just like always, we have on the back of the playmat, there's a nice little combo explanations, how the deck works, and then some cards you might want to look out for in the new set. An issue with this one, just like the Royal Paladin one, if you guys watched the product review for that, is all the cards here, they're the Japanese images. That's really unfortunate because those of us that are new or don't speak, or don't read Japanese, I can understand the cards, but it takes me a lot longer to read them. And, if I didn't know what they did just by looking at their arts, then I'd be like, oh, well, I have no idea what this does. Why are you showing me this card, So, I really think they should fix that. Get the English arts there. It's the English version of the game. You have the card images. It shouldn't be that hard, and it would make a lot of the newer players a lot happier, I think. Because if you're just picking this up for the first time, just watching this, you're like, I don't know about this flower princess of abundant blooming deck, I don't know about this game yet. And then they give you the playmat and all the combos in the back, and they're in Japanese and you can't even read them? Come on. Alright. Anyway, enough complaining about that. We'll get on to the deck. Of course, we have the clan symbol and Ahsha art card there. And then into the deck. Obviously, our main boss unit in this trial deck is going to be Ahsha. This is just a reprint, so this card has already existed. It's just getting the nice new art there. Ooh. And then make it more accessible for newer players who are trying to get into the game and are excited about the Tri 3 booster. If you haven't been hoarding onto your old Miles and Ahshas since like the first trial deck, G trial decks, which was like a year, or maybe more than a year now. Maybe like 2 years ish since they came out. So you didn't have to be hoarding those for 2 years now. So yeah, we got 2 Ahshas. We got our strides. The stride is alright. I don't think it's anything like mind blowing. It's just when you stride this card, you can counterblast one, call a card from your hand, and let's see. That unit gets plus 5,000, so nice little power boost. And if it has Bloom, you countercharge 1 and soul charge 1. So it's free if you have Bloom, if you call a Bloom card. It's a good card just to start off with, I think. It could possibly replace Verano, since Verano does have some other costs associated with it, but it's really good for setting up later in the game. But they both serve the same purpose, which is you want to get a card out in the field when you stride, because Ahsha's ability, when you stride, you can counterblast one, choose one of your units, copy it from the deck, get a copy from the deck and call it to rear guard. But if you don't have any units, what are you going to do, man? But then here, Celine here is going to help you. She's going to be like, wow, I know you don't have any units, but here, boom. We're going to call one when we stride, and then you can go ahead and use Ahsha's skill. And then, of course, her other skill is when you have GB2, all your units get an ability that if you have a copy of them on the field, they get plus 5k. It doesn't stack. You'll figure it out if you don't understand it. It's fairly straightforward. There's not too much complications there. So this is a pretty decent stride. I don't know if they will see much competitive use out of it, but it's definitely a good starting stride. Just a free call, free power, and a little soul to help with your costs. So other grade 3, we got this guy is when your unit with the same name as this unit is placed. We got a nice bloom ability on this one. It's going to be at plus 6,000, so that's a lot of power. But it might be tricky because you might not always get it. And if you call two of them, right? So you have one, and you call another one. This one gets plus 6,000, but this one is still, there's no power on that one. So it's an alright card. I'm pretty sure there's better grade 3 backups you can pick up from the new Tri 3 booster if you're looking to upgrade the deck. But for now, it's pretty decent. And then we have two Florinure dragons. This is the other one's a 10k. When your grade 2 or greater units placed on rear, you get plus 3,000. So that's interesting. It's just like the one in the Royal Paladin deck. That's cool, I guess. But the trouble with this one is you're not always going to be calling grade 2 units with your bloom effects. You're not always going to be copying a grade 2 unit. You already have this guy on the field, and if you have another grade 2 unit on the other side of your Vanguard, and you copy a grade 2 unit, where's it going to go? It's not going to be able to boost or anything. So that's not true. Neonectar has ways to make things boost, but this card just seems kind of especially in this deck. Alright, in the grade 2s we got the Samurai Mushroom. I think he's really funny. His name is Hiratake Monjiro. So he's a pretty serious mushroom samurai. He's your 10k vanilla. Always good. Helps, protect against the early rush. Various things like that. We got two Anelmas. This is a pretty good card, actually. So when your unit is with the same name is placed on rearguard, you can choose 3 of your units and give them plus 2,000. And then if you have a Ranunculus Vanguard, aka your Ahsha there, you got Ahsha on your Vanguard, she herself gains the boost ability. So this is pretty nice. Obviously, if you call a lot of Anelmas, then you're going to gain power. Oh, sorry, there's 4 of her. Great. Great. I was like, they only gave you 2 of the bloom cards that you need? 4, okay. But only 1 foil. Alright, so when you call another copy of her, you're going to power up your field, get that nice power, and give her the ability to boost. So, like I said, your grade 2s can boost in some scenarios. And the nice thing about Anelma is you don't have to have a perfect field. So I think I kind of consider her a worse version of Greenshot Elf, because Greenshot Elf will give power everywhere, but you need to have the full Greenshot Elf build, deck. Oh my god. But you need to have the full Greenshot Elf field to really get the most out of that, whereas in Nelma you don't have to have the perfect field. You're just going to choose 3 units all the time and give them plus 3. Alright, so then we have 2 Irrigation Maidens. So she's, when you have 2 or more bloom units, she gets plus 2,000. So she's a nice little 11,000. Even on defense. Oh, sorry, it's during your turn. Not on defense. But a nice little 11 that can be early if you have bloom cards in the early game. And then when its attack hits, you can pay the cost, counterblast 1. And look at the top 5 cards of your deck and grab a bloom there. So that's pretty nice. Give that a little on-hit pressure once you hit GB. But I think it's a little awkward because Oh no, it's not a maiden, no, just kidding. But that nice little on-hit pressure could be good, but the way that, you know, the Bloom builds kind of lean towards is just these really high-powered plays, and so having some on-hits where you kind of have to ignore the high-powered plays probably not the way to go. But nevertheless, a nice card for the trial deck. Help you grab, you know, some cards that you need. Maybe a grade 3 to help stride with. That's pretty good in a trial deck. Without stride fodders, it can be really hard to stride sometimes. Wouldn't be a trial deck. We got the 2 plus 10k shield interceptors. Classic. Not very good in Neo Nectar, I think, because, like, yeah, you could do one and then call a copy and get a bunch of shield, but you're probably better off just doing power plays and hitting them hard. And then we have 4, a Ravishing Maiden Penelope. So her skill, it's an early game skill, non-GB Bloom effect. Soul Blast 1, when a card of the same name is placed on rear guard, you can pay that cost and choose 3 units and give them +2. So that's good. That's really good. Early game, you can make so many numbers with +6 total. +2 on 3 different units. That's really good. And then GB, it gains an ability. Oh, GB, all those units that you give the +2 gain the ability to get +2 when they boost a Bloom unit. So that's a lot better than I initially thought, because early game you can make some rush plays. You go bomb, 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 and get the Bloom going early, and it makes some really nice numbers on their Vanguard. So, like, for example, if you just have one there, and sure, here we got 2 units, and then we got a Vanguard. So nice little example of this is if you already have one and you call that here, and oh, this is a bad one. Here we go. Boom. So here we got this set up. When we call this one, we get Soul Blast 1. We have Soul because we wrote over. We can give +2, +2, +2, and now we have a 9 for their 9k grade 2 Vanguard, and then we have a 15 +4, which is 19. The numbers, it's so good. So early game, and then late game, it's even better because it's giving it +4s if you're targeting boosters. So that's really good. A lot better than I thought. I kind of dismissed this trial deck, I'll admit. In the beginning, I didn't think the cards were very good. But Penelope, rereading it just now, it's pretty good. Alright, and then we have some Nellies. I think these are just like Sour Slicers. During your turn, it gets +1000 for every other Nelly you have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just like Sour Slicer. You can make a column of 16 with just 2 of them. That's really nice. But other than being nice for like a little trial deck card, the early game is not quite as good as Penelope. Not getting as much power, even though it's a little bit more consistent power. But Nelly's probably not going to cut it when you go ahead and upgrade this deck. Alright, then we got our little pistachio. He's a cute little pistachio. Aww. Unexpectedly tough. It's probably because of the shell. Have you ever had those pistachios that, like, they have the tiniest little slit and you're like, ugh. Anyway, that's a perfect guard. This is probably a perfect guard pistachio right there. Pretty cute dude, but there's a lot of really good perfect guards. Like the new Ahsha perfect guard is so good. Unflips, can never go wrong with unflips. And then, alright, so the last grade 1 we have is Maple Leaf Squire. And he is a pretty simple, when he boosts the unit gets +3000. So he's just a straight up 9000 booster. I don't think that's very useful. The Bloom deck, you're probably going to want to be focusing on Bloom effects. But he can be nice, be that 9000 booster. If you can make a unit that's 12,000, make that 21. He could make some nice numbers, but chances are he won't. You probably just want to boost with cards like Enelma. Alright, and then the starter is really nice. The starter is able to rest, and then you choose two of your units, and then they count as the same name. So that's really nice if you have effects like Green Shot Elf, which only give power to their same name. You can just be like, okay, well, this card and Green Shot are going to be the same name now. And now when I call new Green Shots, this one will get power. So that's really nice. It can be really good early game if you just want to like amplify the effects of Bloom. And then it also has kind of blast one, put it into Sol. Choose a card from your drop zone, put it on the bottom of your deck, and if it has bloom, draw a card. So a way to recycle your bloom units in the drop zone. You're like, oh, well, I don't have any left in deck. Ida's going to be there. She got your back. She's going to put it back in the deck for you. And if it has bloom, you get to draw a card, so that's really nice. Just replaces herself and get those units back into the deck where you need them. And that's it. Really, we just got triggers now. It's 4 crit, 4 draw, 4 stand. We got 2. Again, we got the moving. Whoa. 6 draw. Okay. I see you, Bushiroad. It's 4 crit, 6 draw, 2 stand. And again, we have the Margold clone, which is put into Soul, give plus 3,000. Probably not super useful unless you're low on Soul. Neonectar tends to take advantage of its high powers and use offensive triggers like stands and crits to really push it in, push the game home, and then 4 heals, obviously, such a powerful trigger. So that's pretty much it for the deck. I think your key cards for this are going to be the starter, they're going to be your Penelopes, they're going to be your Anelmas, and of course your Ahsha that you're getting if you don't have the other ones. Ida being really good to help you recycle your cards that you don't have any left in the deck. You can put them back in, draw a card. Penelope and Anelma, these guys are going to be your power boosters. And then Ahsha, because you need that ridiculous name to get Anelma off. Oh, the names, I can't keep track of them. But overall, this deck is pretty decent. I think you're probably only going to pick it up if you want to build Ahsha specifically. There's some decent bloom cards like Penelope and Ida, but there are a lot of good cards in the set. So if you just want to build a non-Ahsha bloom deck, you might want to pass on this one because there's not a lot of cards in here that really are going to help you. Maybe Ramona might help you a little bit, search out some bloom cards, but chances are you really want this for Anelma and Ahsha there, and maybe Penelope. You know, Penelope is probably the best pickup. And Ida, if you're not gonna build the Ahsha base deck, but Ahsha's where it's at. It's gonna be expensive though, so be warned. The Ahsha deck is expensive. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys liked this product review. I hope you guys liked the deck. It's pretty good. I think it'll be decently strong, so I'm excited to do the trial deck evolution for that, see what cards the set has for it. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, any thoughts about this deck or the video itself, any constructive criticism that you have. Make sure you're subscribed for more content. We have the trial deck evolutions coming up for this, the Royal Paladin deck, and the Gear Chronicle deck. I've just been waiting for Tri 3 to come out, so they all have kind of like their own decks fleshed out, and should be easy, so I'm excited for that. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you like the video, and yeah. Thanks to all the patrons on Patreon for helping support this content. If you want to be like them, head over to Patreon, and you can do that by waiting for the end slate to pop up, and then hit the orange P. It'll take you right over there. There's some nice benefits, some cool stuff over there. And that's about it. Keep on learning, keep on having fun, and I'll see you in another video.